Question 27 asked you to sketch a pie chart to show the data in this study. So this was about the office workers going down the corridors and how they encountered each other. Now, this is the mark scheme for it, and it shows that pie chart showing the percentage of behaviours observed as two people approach each other along a corridor. We've got the pie there, we've got the types of behaviours, and we've got the percentages on it. Now, basically, nowhere in the exam mark scheme here says that you actually need a proper protractor to draw it. But you can just sketch it to kind of what you think it would be. But the only issue with that is that you're more likely to get it wrong if you don't use one, because it's very difficult to kind of estimate what 12% is, what 4% looks like. Like when I look at this pie here, the 40% looks quite like small, like you'd think, because 50% is like obviously half it. Like how you know what 10% of it is? It's very difficult without a protractor to draw it. So I would suggest still using a protractor, but don't worry if you're a little bit off. It doesn't matter too much. But it's got to look like this. If it looks like this, you get a mark. You also get a mark for the title. In fact, it says here, 1 mark is awarded for correctly calculating what proportion of the circle should represent each of the 5 behavioural categories. So that's the percentages on there. Now, it says you can actually have the degrees on it as well. So you can either have percentages or the degrees, but obviously the percentage is better because it says pie chart showing the percentage of behaviours. So it might be that next year they'll tighten up the mark scheme and just say that they want percentages on it rather than the degrees. So personally, I would probably just put the percentages on. So they need to be on there for a mark. It's got to kind of look like it for another mark, which is what I was saying before. And then another mark is for clear labelling, so the actual behaviours on the pie. And then the 4th mark is for a title. And a lot of you didn't put a title on, and I've told you a million times, every chart or graph or anything you draw, it has to have a title. Otherwise, what are the people going to know that they're looking at? Like, it's just going to look like a circle. Like, unless there's something on there, what on earth are you going to know it's about? Like, you're not going to know. So you have to have a title on there. And it really does need to be at the top as well. Like, if it's a proper graph or chart, it's at the top. But, like, people are drawing it at the side, which, you're not going to get marked down on a psychology exam for it, but really in life it should be at the top. Like if you're in a maths exam, it would have to be at the top. So there you go, that's how to get the full marks for a pie chart.